Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name's Dina. Thank you for joining. And welcome back to all of those that are our beginning subscribers and avid listeners and watchers. I appreciate you and getting involved in the comments. First, I'd like to take one of the cards from the Kali Kuan Yin deck, get an overarching message. I don't believe I'm going to do a gemstone feature today. This is my busy day of the week, and I need to get up and at it and out of the house. So let's see what's coming through for you. I did even look for a reading. I flipped through 3 books, and I got some random stuff that didn't seem to be something of value, which maybe you're looking for an answer or something and can't quite put your finger on it. But in the last book that I flipped through, I got this really ancient book. I don't know where I got it. How to Make ESP Work for You by Harold Sherman. All of us have within us an incredible mental power that can change our lives overnight. If you're ready to explore this miraculous new dimension of your mind, read this book. I have not read this book. So I opened it up, and the first thing I saw on pages 168 to 169, you're welcome to take a little screenshot there and take that all in to the extent that you can see it. So 2 things. The first thing I saw was one of the headings that said the misuse of hypnotic control. So there may be something. So some of the common themes that have come up in many of our lives is there's some type of basis or foundational ideas and narratives about our life, our experience, or our person, and what that means about our ability to continue to undefine ourselves, I wanted to say. And so this misuse of hypnotic control was bringing to mind things like gaslighting, those who want to continue to subtly diminish or plant seeds of doubt in our gardens, weeds in our gardens of mind, body, spirit. And it's definitely important for us to not only cleanse, clear, and purify the vessel, the body, the mind, and the spirit, etc., to clear away any residues or projections from external sources, but also it's important to continue to affirm and investigate those things that come in. So one of the other things, there's this bolded out paragraph on 168, a little further up than that, and it says, under these manifestly powerful control conditions, any individual who values possession of his own free will should think more than twice before surrendering his consciousness for what appears on the surface to be only a harmless little parlor demonstration of hypnotism. So for instance, it says if the hypnotist, for instance, should happen to be a disturbed personality, those subjects under his control run the risk of having his or her instability transmitted to them. Even if an ordinarily well-balanced hypnotic personality is disturbed over some incident at the time or has a severe personal problem on his mind, the subject under his control is in danger of being adversely affected by his thoughts and feelings. If the subject also is emotionally unstable, his feelings may be profoundly upset and cause him to commit acts he would not ordinarily do, even after release from the hypnotic influence. Such conditions, once brought on, may require medical or psychiatric attention. So this is also reminding me that we do need to be very aware of the media, the therapeutic ideas of others, even my own. Take my own through the grain or with a grain of salt and through your own higher guidance and resonance. So especially individuals that you would sense as having some level of either confidence, achievement, or basis of information that you're looking for, guidance, we can become kind of enthralled with the glamour of that and disowning our own higher intuition. And so there's definitely something too about whether or not we are engaging with a group where there may be one or several individuals who are not completely emotionally or otherwise stable or have extreme things that they're dealing with on the other side beyond where we perceive. And these things are being kind of perpetuated with us. Like, it's reminding me of a situation that I've got where there are individuals that believe themselves to be at a certain level. And then I, of course, believe myself to be at some certain level. And I try not to compare myself to them, but I feel, because I'm an intuitive and because also I have foundational issues that come in and influence my perceptions in the moment, I perceive that some of these individuals would be more comfortable if I would just stop radiating, stop glowing quite as much, and could I just take it down a notch and get back into my corner? Because, and I apologize for the road noise, I've got the pole barn open and we have road graders going up and down the road, so you may hear beeping and all of that noise. I hope that you don't that doesn't detract from anything. But so I feel in particular, though it doesn't have to be part of your situation, that with mine, there's this masculine, feminine, above and below. There's some sort of hierarchy that others want to engage that I don't necessarily feel compelled to comply with, such as a female being strong and powerful. I'm stronger than some of the men in there, and that makes them highly uncomfortable. I'm not larger. I've used my assets in a specific way. And specifically, I've trained longer and harder and differently than some of these individuals, but they don't want to look at that because I'm new where I'm at. So this can also happen in context of community involvement and other groups and other workplace dynamics, institutional settings, with doctor-patient, especially with the therapist. If your therapist or doctor is someone who is subtly telling you, oh, well, that's nothing, but you feel like it's something, or if they're just telling you that it's all in your mind, well, the mind is the body. They're indistinguishable. So there may be an opportunity for us to, if we're intuitively guided, to seek a second opinion or a third or a fourth. And even friends and family will gaslight us in the moment, reminding me of a friend who's been ill. And I have other friends who have had extreme issues with their skeletal system, back and neck, and that many doctors would just kind of push them off or this or that. But then finally they find somebody who found out what it was, and the extreme relief that happened with their body has created an entirely new experience in their daily moment-to-moment life and their ability to be present in their body, you know? And trauma works the same way. We dissociate, but when is it safe to come back in? It's when we're in charge, when we're in the center and no one else. This is the card that flipped out. Probably one of my favorite cards from the Kuan Yin deck, Mother Fierce. Number 18 always throws me back into the traditional major arcana of the tarot, and that's the Moon card. It talks about illusion, confusion, things that are unclear, things that are masked or cloaked, and the mother energy that comes through and steps forward to protect us even when we can't quite see, and to guide us out of the darkness and into the light. And let's see what's under the deck here. Drink from the Emerald Fountain. I absolutely love the Emerald tablets, talking about Thoth, however you pronounce it. That's the number 7 there, Chariot energy. So it's talking about our ability to drink from the healing waters, to allow the emotional influx, the psychic influx, to really come through and wash and cleanse and restore our energies. I do like to just read a little bit about Mother Fierce. First of all, is talking about nothing escaping her very keen sense of awareness. And if somebody is not acting right, it's not for us necessarily to throw karma out, because then that ties us and entangles us with the back and forth exchange of those lower energies. We can simple, as if it's easy, remove ourselves from situations or from vibrational resonance and invitations to fight, or to show somebody that we really are something that they believe that we are in the moment. Those influences can push us to do things and to say things and act in ways that are not ourselves. So taking a break may be necessary. Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured, beloved, in the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem. And no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power, know that you are safe, you are protected, you are loved, and you are seen, which is why some individuals will come and try to detract, because they don't have that same stability and foundational either belief in themselves or the same faith and hope in where they're going. So you're growing spiritually, and sometimes this evokes responses from others. This sometimes can be loving and affirming, encouraging and validating, and many will be inspired by your growth. However, lower vibrational responses will also arise, which may be fearful, insecure, jealous, or angry. These responses arise so they can be healed. And this healing for you is in how you choose to allow yourself to shine and not be diminished by the healing process of another. For the other, their healing is their journey, and you've offered them a great service. Know that you do not need to be afraid, nor do you need to hold yourself back out of fear. Just like I was saying, it would make others more comfortable to know that that our success was just an anomaly or a mystery or something that just popped up, and that our ability to make change is the illusion, and that, you know, when we start to make changes, it makes other people that are in that lower vibrational state want to justify their lack of ability to achieve or to go. Age comes up often in the group that I work with. Many people talking about how, oh, well, you're 40 now, or you're this now. And life doesn't stop at 40. There's a reason why that's known as middle age. You barely touched the top of the mountain. And so if you're ready to give up, then maybe there's something else you can apply yourself to. But the more that we talk about limitation as fact, the more than that is the factual limitation that we're imposed upon ourselves. So number 7, the divine feminine is encouraging of the awakening and empowerment of all living beings. When a sincere seeker is trying to find the way through, there is much help sent. It makes sense to be open to receive it. Indeed, to step forward and to drink from the emerald fountain, which is the unconditionally loving heart chakra of Kuan Yin. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother flowing to you now. So Um, yeah, it talks about making things harder than they need to be. And our higher self is really putting us through certain obstacle courses, if you will, in order to develop our spiritual muscles, in order to bring us to our destiny in the most efficient and effective manner, to awaken us in an important way that might be beyond us in the moment. Under the deck, we have heart chakra. I love that. Okay, couple cards out. Let's take that crisscross one as well. So the first card was upside down. It's number 11, believe if you believe. So if you believe, it's like those limitations we pose on ourselves or otherwise. You know, there's plenty of people on media that will show us that it's never too late to, let's say, transform the body, the mind, the spirit, to start and write a book. There were many famous individuals from history that never did anything that was regarded until after their death or into their late age. There are many stories about that. So, especially don't let the beliefs of others influence our own potential and capacity to believe in ourselves. Right, especially doctors, therapists, health and spiritual workers. I know that sometimes certain individuals will say that the way that I would say about operating more with compassion and forgiveness, or simply just not taking part in things, may seem to some to be magical thinking or bypassing or whatever, but it's not in the way that I'm intending it. It'll have to come through your own perception and awareness, but I don't always practice as I preach. I intend to. I aim there. That's where my goal is set. And goals are meant to be beyond what our current limitations are, because otherwise it wouldn't be a goal, it'd be the reality. Moving on, Gaia comes out next. The way that we interact with our world and the way that the world is influencing us in moving through our entire field. Says the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we're infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to the Great Mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So Mother Gaia and Mother Fierce are fiercely guiding, guarding, protecting, and showing us the path. Oh, empowerment, but I flipped it upside down. So there's been some type of a compromise of power, could be through that gaslighting because we have the belief here. But I feel that we are told that we are here to reclaim our power. Power and control dynamics. Pluto is moved into the sign of Aquarius. And although Pluto will back up just one last time into Capricorn before being into the sign of Aquarius for good for the next, 27 or so years, I believe, in Aquarius. Pluto is all about power and control and the underworld, the Hades, the god of the underworld and the shadow. And in that way, it can definitely have much to do with things like the story of Pluto and Persephone, where he literally kidnapped her from the meadow, took her back to his hellhole, took advantage of her, and fed her the pomegranate, and then she could not return. But her mother, Ceres is the goddess of the harvest, the Mother Earth goddess. Incredible. So yes, Ceres went on hiatus and was so grief-stricken and pissed that she withheld all of her blessings from the earth, and Earth was barren, and she forced Pluto to return her daughter, but because she had eaten the pomegranate, she couldn't fully come back, and so they compromised, and he says that she can come back for 6 months out of the year, and that's where we gain our spring, summer, and into the early fall, and then the cold season is where Ceres retreats into her grief and loss. Okay, so I'll stop there because that seems very interesting. Consciousness. So there's an expansion of consciousness, as well as an empowerment of our conscious beliefs, our ability to work with those on a conscious level. This is what I'm looking for. Simplicity under the deck. Let's look at belief. What does belief want to tell us? The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Yeah, like those individuals that want us to stay put or not surpass limitations, not achieve, and not to show them up in some type of a way. And it doesn't have to be competition based, but our success at our level shows them that they could or would or should do more with their time. And that's a challenge to them on their inner level. Or the beliefs that we hold, like let's use the doctor type of an idea where a doctor could say this is all in your mind. A psychologist could say this is definitely your mind is working in this way, and this is going to make you sick and affect your body. But a naturopath will bridge the two. A spiritual practitioner might say that this is all in your spirit and emotional and energetic levels. But the inclusive mind, body, spirit model will take all three legs of that stool in equal proportion and say, it is your mind, it is your body, it is your spirit. And when we can bridge those legs, we create the support so that the whole thing doesn't flatten every time that any pressure or load is placed on the stool or the table. When it's only three legs, we need all three in equal measure, or it's tippy. Standing on tiptoe came out yesterday. Those who stand on tiptoe are not steady. And so wherever there's been an imbalance or an over-exaggeration on one leg of the stool, we can identify where that over emphasis here is sacrificing over here, and there's a short leg that can be assisted. Now we have under the deck recognition and belief. So in those situations, I think that it's like if somebody's dismissing your belief or your intuition, like mothers and those who are pregnant, they absolutely know what's going on in their bodies. I mean, I've even, because of the connection between mind and body, I used to practice controlling my moon cycle. If I didn't want it that day, I would wait until the next day. It didn't always work, right? But there's an extreme connection, and we can practice like poking holes in the clouds. It's practice, it's belief, and then execution. And the experiential rewards are profound. So belief, immunity. Do you believe in your well-being? Do you believe in your ability and worth? Do you believe in your gifts and talents? And is someone else telling you that you're not as good as those that are in positions of preference? Are there playing favorites going on? Immunity to me shows me about that you're guided, guarded, and protected. And so don't lower yourself to play the game. One more. Yeah, manifest your greatness. Manifest your limitless potential. Let's get something from Gaia here. Oh, that was kind of a lot, but it all came out as it needed to. Now we have love under the deck. So the love of the mother. Is this all of them? This is how it fell on the table. Assistance, intuition, up in violet flame. So, yes. Oh my goodness. So, yesterday, I think Assistance, or was it the day before, came out with Discernment, very similar color palette today with Gaia in clarification. Isn't that gorgeous? So, Mother Earth, Mother Fierce, is assisting us to surpass um, this obstacle course. She's beckoning us forward with some type of reward or understanding or that delightful experiential process that after we've reached the end, we can look back and say, see, I told you. But maybe it's not I told you so, but maybe it is. So, intuition, your intuition is spot on and it's assisting you um, to know which direction to go in. So, I mean, if you have something physically ailing you, if you look it up online, there's no limit to everything has the same type of symptoms because dis-ease has similar responses. No matter what system is being activated, you'll have elevated lymph system interaction, white blood cell count, those type of things. You might have inflammation. All of these things, you can find any number of sources that will tell you that you're just about to die or something, but use your intuitive forces. It's like, I am healthy, well, and protected. Just show me what needs to shift, what needs my attention and assistance, and please help me to understand where my power lies. Yeah, empowerment, up, leveling up, using your intuition. Your intuition is helping you to stand firm and to lift yourself up, to transmute any type of healing on any of those legs of the stool that are necessary, to transmute old pain and old self-worth or confidence issues into love and awareness. In empowerment, what does empowerment have to tell us today? Gaining a sense of ourself, centering and grounding. One more. There we go. Love again. Okay, the power of love is extreme. And so maybe that's where that forgiveness comes through. It's like we don't need to forgive the act or the individual, but we can understand that love is the basis of all things. And if someone is unloving to themselves, they're going to be unloving to others. So love is the basis of power dilemmas as well. Whether it's love or unlove, it's still the spectrum of love. Underneath the deck, we have innocence. Maybe these people don't know what they are doing. Maybe they do, and they're misguided about needing to take somebody's power because they were disempowered. Maybe they feel like they're helping us out by keeping us within our reined in so that our ego doesn't get too inflated by thinking we're great. But over here, they're inflating everybody else's ego and, patting the backs of those individuals that aren't working as hard while you're doing your slaving away type stuff. So there's some power dynamics surfacing, but if you can see them through the lens of love, it may not completely feel better, but there's that understanding that you're not where they're at. So with this surfacing card, I often see that as ruby fuchsite and banded malachite. And I did bring a couple of those a few weeks back onto the table. I wonder, so today we didn't have a gem feature, but here we go. I almost thought about doing these. So I'll have to try to figure out if I can hold these all. But if you can see how this malachite can sometimes look, and sometimes malachite can have those circular dots, but it can be banded in its finished form. In its raw form, it can be toxic, I've heard. So operate with caution. I've always touched it. Nothing's wrong with me. I think I'm funny. This is ruby fuchsite. So this red part here, this pinkish area, is the ruby in fuchsite, I do believe. Because, the zoisite is grayish black. But, there's something surfacing here, that higher heart ability to love and to maintain a neutral perspective, innocent perspective when others are challenging us. So maybe we can take it lighter in the moment. So I want to take an animal oracle here to just kind of finish us up, and maybe even an art of war, depending on, we're at the end of the video anyways. So take care of yourselves. Good luck on your journey. And I do hope that you've enjoyed today's video and gotten something out of it. So if so, please do consider like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help get the message out to those who need it. And all right, let's go with that. Wolf, Pathfinder. Yes, Mother Fierce, coming in to guide us to find our correct path, not the one that someone else would dictate for us or tell us is good for us. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and you help others to find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Yes, so this obstacle course is actually being refereed or overseen by powerful forces coming to our aid. And I wanted to see what was underneath that. Squirrel, always prepared. You're the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. So don't take it so seriously, right? Don't let life's distractions or other people's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future and life will give you all you need. Expect the best, but prepare for the worst. Always prepared. A positive outlook is great, but it's also important to prepare for problems that might occur along the way. Sometimes you find yourself caught up in difficult situations. If it's not worth fighting, back out. If it is, prepare well. Come up with a game plan. List your opponent's possible actions and the actions of your opponent, and plan your counter moves. When you've done that, you'll be bulletproof. So it sounds to me like some type of almost martial arts exchange in that way, where you're strategically, you know their tells, you know what their default moves are, or in a sporting match when you start to become aware. Sun Tzu said, he will win who prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. Interesting. Something about preparing for something, the other shoe to drop, somebody to drop a bomb to see if you're going to buy in. There's other individuals that I'm thinking of as well that like to kind of pick at me. And you don't need to take that lying down or shutting up. We can speak up in a very gentle and very firm way that says, that is not who I am. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Check back again for more later. Thanks, guys.